Hi friends, it's teacher Ulrich here. How's it going today? That's great. Thanks for joining me so that we can continue with lesson 20. In today's class, we'll briefly remember the words and their meanings. Then we'll be taking on activity 20A. So make sure that you have this activity ready. It's called Using Words in Context on page 242. Great. Now, let's begin at the top of the word list. As we get to the word, I want you to say it out loud. What's the first word? It's ample. We use the word ample to describe something which is plenty, more than enough. One large turkey will provide ample food for 8 people. Ample is also used to describe something which is large in size. We usually use it to describe someone or something that is nice and fat. The cat's ample stomach was proof that he was given plenty of food. The next word is burden. Correct. We use the word burden as the name for something that is carried, especially a heavy load. So you carry a burden. If it's something that you carry and it's heavy, cumbersome, you might say, you can say it's a burden, like this guy's backpack. Carrying his frail son on his shoulders was never a burden. We also use the word burden as the name for something or anything that is hard to bear. Bear means deal with. So something that is hard to deal with emotionally is a burden. The burden of caring for 4 sick children was too much for the babysitter. Burden also has a verb meaning. To burden is to add to what one has to bear. Remember, bear means to deal with. Don't burden your grandparents with this problem. Don't add to their problems. Don't burden your parents by getting into trouble at school. The next word is compassion. Correct. Compassion is the name of a feeling of sharing the suffering of others and of wanting to help. Sympathy, pity. Those 2 words are synonyms for compassion. Sympathy, pity. Shazia's compassion for the homeless led to her working each weekend at the soup kitchen. Compassionate is a different form of the word. We use this word as an adjective. Compassionate describes someone or the state of showing compassion. The doctor's compassionate manner made her loved by all of her patients. This girl is very compassionate. The next word is, yes, comply. To comply is to act in agreement with a rule or another's wishes. Unless you comply with the requirements to wear shoes, you cannot enter the restaurant. You'll see this sign often. No mask, no entry. So you have to comply. If you want to go into the shop or to the restaurant, you have to wear a mask. You have to comply. Go along with the rule. The next word is cumbersome. Yes, similar to burden. We use the word cumbersome to describe something which is awkward and hard to handle. Unwieldy is a synonym for cumbersome. The crate of oranges was cumbersome, but the clerk managed to get it up the stairs. All of these water jugs are cumbersome, but this man manages to carry them all. Wow. The next word is distress. To distress is to cause pain or sorrow, to trouble or worry. Now you can distress someone with your behavior or your actions. It distresses me that no one offered to help when they saw the accident. So it worries me, it troubles me. Distress is also the name of a pain, sorrow, or worry. Our class felt distress because of our friend's illness, so we made a large poster with our get well wishes. The next word is encounter. To encounter is to meet unexpectedly. The actress encountered a crowd of fans in the lobby of her hotel. She met them unexpectedly. To encounter is also to be faced with something, most often a problem, an obstacle. As the frightened children ran around the corner, they encountered a stone wall. So they were faced with a stone wall. That is what was before them. Encounter is also used as the name of a chance meeting, a meeting by chance. They had an encounter in the park. They had a meeting by chance in the park. Our encounter with our neighbors at the party was a pleasant surprise. So an encounter can be a good thing, a pleasant surprise. Encounter is also the name of a battle or fight. So in a war, there are many encounters, many battles. The first major encounter of the Civil War occurred at Fort Sumter on April 12, 1861. A fight, not the war, just a fight, a battle, encounter. The next word is exert. To exert is to put forth effort, mostly in a physical way. If Jane doesn't exert herself more in Spanish class, I'm sure she will not be able to speak the language. If she does not make a greater effort, if she does not exert herself. Exertion is used as the name of the act of tiring oneself, a strong effort. The exertion of climbing to the top of the ruins left the explorers feeling weak. So, what is the exertion level of your exercise? Is it easy? 2. Somewhat easy, somewhat hard, hard, or extremely hard? What is the exertion level of your exercise? The next word is indignant. We use the word indignant to describe a feeling of anger. Angry or resentful about something that seems wrong or unfair. Brandisha was indignant when her friend ignored her repeated texts. Angry about something that you feel is wrong or unfair. Indignation is the name of that anger that is caused by something mean or unfair. My indignation was aroused when I was not given a chance to defend myself. My indignation is because my brother got a bigger present than me. Angry about something that is unfair. The next word is jest. Jest is the name of a joke or the act of joking. So it's a synonym for joke or prank. My remark was made in jest. I'm sorry you took me seriously. To jest is to joke or say things light-heartedly. Surely you jest, I said when my aunt suggested throwing out the television set. Are you jesting? That means, are you joking? Now, this guy is a jester. In the Middle Ages, they used to entertain people by making jokes, teasing. A jester. He's a joker, jester. In a deck of cards, you always get a few jester cards or joker cards. The next word is mirth. Mirth is the name of laughter. So laughter is a synonym for mirth. Joyfulness expressed through laughter. The sight of the 3-year-old wearing his mother's hat and shoes provoked much mirth among the family. Laughter. Next word is moral. Moral. So moral is the name of a useful lesson about life. What is the moral of the story? The play's moral was look before you leap. So the moral of the story is the lesson of the story. Look before you leap. Leap means jump. So look before you jump. Think before you do. That's the moral, the lesson of the story. We use the word moral as an adjective also. We use it to describe having to do with questions of right and wrong. What is good and what is bad? Animal cruelty is a moral as well as a legal issue. Not only is it illegal to hurt animals, it is wrong. It is a moral issue. We also use it to describe something which is based on what is right and proper. You have a moral duty to report a crime if you see it. It's the right thing to report a crime if you see it. You have a moral duty. The next word is outskirts. You got it. Outskirts. Outskirts is the name of the parts far from the center as of a town. So these are the outskirts of the town. Into the town is the center. The outskirts are far from the center. The plan to build another large shopping mall on the outskirts of town was voted down at the meeting. Where do you live in the city? Do you live in the center of the city or to the outskirts of the city? Remember, outskirts are not necessarily the outback, right? So out there in the wilderness, that would be the outback. But just the outer part of the city, that's the outskirts. Just outside the center. Just outside the city. The next word is resume. To resume is to begin again after a pause. The concert will resume after a 15-minute break. To resume is also to occupy again. To occupy is to take up space. So to occupy again is to resume. After the quick stop, The bus passengers resumed their seats for the next part of the journey. See? Please resume your seat. Go back to your seats. Go back to the seat you were in before. Resume your seats. The final word is ridicule. To ridicule is to make fun of, to mock. So to ridicule something or someone is not to necessarily judge them, yes, to judge them, but to mock them, to laugh at them. People once ridiculed the idea that flight by heavier than air machines was possible. So people ridiculed that idea. Ridicule is the name of words or actions intended to make fun of, to mock. Their ridicule of my friend finally provoked me to lose my temper. Now, ridiculous is a different form of the word. We use the word ridiculous to describe something which is laughable, deserving of mockery. It is ridiculous to suggest that a bridge could be built across the Atlantic Ocean. The cat wearing shoes and a hat looked ridiculous, laughable. Great. Now friends, let's get into the activity. Get activity 20A ready for this lesson. Great. Let me just move this around a bit. Let's begin by reading the instruction. Using words in context. Read the following sentences. If the word in bold is used correctly, write C on the line. If the word is used incorrectly, write I on the line. So C for correct, I for incorrect. Great. Number 1A. Being poor was never really a burden for my family. Something that is hard to deal with? Correct. B. The burden was heavy, but no one complained. Can a burden be heavy? Correct. Hard to carry. C. Candace doesn't like to burden her friends with all her troubles. Correct. She doesn't like to add to their worries. D. A bowl of burden is very refreshing on a hot day. Can't eat a bowl of burden. Incorrect. Number 2A. The students show their compassion by volunteering at the animal shelter. They show their compassion, they show that they care. Correct. Compassion is showing that you care. B. Alejandro, which is a name, Alejandro is studying acting and feels compassionately about the theater. Incorrect. C. The compassion of a light bulb causes it to heat up. Incorrect. D. A compassionate note of kindness was given to the victims. Compassionate note, a note that showed caring. Next, number 3A. The large chair was too cumbersome for us to carry easily. Correct, something that's hard to carry. B. She smiled and gave me a cumbersome look as she skipped out the door. Incorrect. C. Checking out all these books from the library will be cumbersome, but I need them. Checking out all these books. Correct. It will be hard to carry. D. Sunshine shone in cumbersome beams on the neighborhood. Incorrect. Next, number 4, A. We encountered a few bumps on our trip. We came across. Correct. B. The encounter ended when the dog ran away and the cat purred. The encounter ended. So the encounter between the dog and the cat. C. I encountered an old friend when I returned to my hometown. Correct, you could unexpectedly meet. D. I encountered how many eggs we have, but I forgot the number. Incorrect. It should be I counted, maybe, but not encountered. Next, number 5A. The coach exerted that he was sure they would win the game. Incorrect. B. You must exert pressure on the handle to release the brake. You must exert pressure. You must make an effort. Correct. You must put out effort, exert. C. The exertion of running all the way home made me so tired. Correct. The exertion. D. Exert the book back to me when you're done reading it. That is incorrect. Makes no sense. Next, number 6A. The jest was funny enough to make some of us laugh. Correct. The joke, the jest. B. I was speaking in jest when I said I was quitting the team. Correct. I was making a joke. C. Don't jest about something as serious as your safety. Correct. Don't joke about it. D. Keep the good ones and throw the jest away. Incorrect. I think they mean to say, or it should be rest. Throw the rest away, not jest. Number 7A. Mirth was piled up in the driveway. Mirth cannot be piled up. B. My brother tried to hide his mirth when I saw what he did to my room. He tried to hide his laughter. Correct. That can be right. C. The mirth in the car grew louder as more of us got the joke. Got the joke is to understand it. Correct. Laughter grew. D. He tried to tell us that the mirth wasn't ready yet. Incorrect. The mirth is laughter. So laughter can't not be ready yet. Number 8A. The moral of the story is always tell the truth. Correct. The message of the story. The lesson of the story. B. The moral thing to do is to return the money you found. Correct. The right thing to do, the moral thing. Remember, moral can be the lesson of a story or the right or wrong thing. C. The moral we caught was at least 3 feet long. Incorrect. Moral is not a fish. D. The moral ended happily with the friends reunited. With the friends reunited. That is incorrect. The moral is not a story, it's the lesson of the story. Number 9A. I resumed that you would be coming with us. Incorrect. The word should be I assumed, not resumed. Sounds similar, be careful. B. The campers resumed all the food that we brought with us. Yet again, it should be consumed, to eat. To consume food is to eat it, not resumed. C. The play resumed after the actor stopped coughing. Carry on. Resume. Correct. D. Mrs. Muhammad resumed teaching after she had her baby. Correct. She carried on teaching. So when you have a baby, you go on maternity leave. Then you can resume your job. You can carry on after your maternity leave. Next, number 10A. The suggestion was met with ridicule by the class. That could be correct. Hey, how about all of us paint our whole bodies pink? That's silly. That's not a clever idea. It was met with ridicule. B. It's ridiculous to suggest that I could climb Mount Everest. Correct. It's ridiculous. It's laughable. I can't even climb a flight of stairs without wheezing. C. We got rid of the ridicule but managed to save the good stuff. Incorrect. D. The ridicule was harvested in the spring by the farmers. Ridicule is not food. It's not something that grows. And there you have it, friends. Here are all the correct answers for these questions, or for these sentences. Make sure that you got all of them. If you had some trouble understanding some of them, I would suggest you review your words and their meanings. Keep practicing. And remember to join me in our next class, day 3. For the next class, we'll be taking on these 3 activities. So bring with you activity 20B, 20C, and 20D. We'll take those on in the next one. Until then, friends, take care, and I'll see you later. Bye.